Hello, everybody. It is me, Lainey Renee from Quaint and Cozy KC. I'm a podcaster in the Kansas City area. I also have a blog called Quaint and Cozy KC, and obviously I'm TikTok, all the social media platforms, a YouTube channel. And I wanted to talk to you guys today about cozy museums in Clay County, Missouri. Now, I wanted to do this whole long, exhaustive kind of video on that, but I'm like, you know what? I can do these in smaller bites, right? Because I feel like at this point, we're all just kind of like our attention spans are just kind of slowly just like washing away. So I want to support that and also support my own attention span by breaking it up. And I want to start off today in, we're in Clay County, we're in Gladstone. We are at the Atkins-Johnson Farm and Museum. Now, this is one of my favorite little cozy museums in like the Clay County, Missouri area. I mean, I'm a little partial to it, but there used to be a farmer's market, a Gladstone farmer's market, but unfortunately this year they had to, one of the main people passed away, and so they decided to like kind of suspend it this year, and that was really sad for me. It was located in the parking lot of the Atkins-Johnson farm, but the good news is that they still have activities out there. Now, I think last month I was there for like, they have this sunflower field, and beautiful sunflowers, very nice workers, and you just drive, park your car, pick out your sunflowers, take pictures, and then go on about your way. I really appreciate how they don't have a drive-on fee. And again, I understand the places that have to do that. No shade to them, but if you have smaller kids that can't quite do all the other thing, like when you do some of those bigger ones, there's a long line, it's a lot, and with the littles like that, you only have a certain amount of time before the meltdowns start to happen. So I really appreciate that. Atkins-Johnson Farm is a very, easy way to get those family memories when you have smaller kids, and then get in your car and go home, probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, meltdown free. Okay. But unfortunately this year, they usually have a pumpkin patch, but just with all the rain and everything, that's not going to happen this year for them, which makes me sad because it is kind of the same deal. Lots of pumpkins that they had like last year and the years before. And really easy. You drive on, you can take your pictures. They'll help you take the pictures. And then, you buy your pumpkins and you go home. So it's a perfect kind of, if you got like a long list of activities to do, but you're like, oh man, I got to still hit that pumpkin patch. That was the great place to do it. Unfortunately, this year at the Atkins-Johnson Farm and Museum, they're not going to be doing the pumpkins. Now, I just talked to you about like the outdoor activities. There's a beautiful trail that you can kind of follow around, and it's paved. I love a good paved trail because I'll just tell you something. I am flat-footed, and I have like, my shoes have pretty, nice arch support, but anytime the ground is uneven, that is just not my friend. That is literally not my friend. So I do appreciate that their trails are like paved. Like there's a nice main, one that is paved. There's some outbuildings on the property as well. Beautiful trees you can take pictures of. I think it's a great place. And then, you're kind of walking around, obviously respecting the property. And I do believe you need to go to their website, the Atkins-Johnson Farm and Museum website. I think they do have like standard hours, I believe. So look that up. Don't be going at 10 o'clock at night, y'all. Okay. But from Wednesday to Saturday, their museum is open. And there's also an event center, but I don't think that's quite done. And I don't know quite what everything they're going to do there. It'd be really great if they had like an occasional once a month farmers market thing there, especially in the colder months. I would totally go and support it. But anyway, hint, hint, Atkins-Johnson Farm and Museum, maybe sometime in the future. Anyways, back to the actual museum. So the museum is located inside like the big white house. There's like a beautiful big white house, and it's older. It's got, it looks like an old school, if you're a Gen Xer or an elder millennial, it looks like your grandma's house, your grandma and grandpa, or, aunt's house, aunt, uncle's house. It looks like that. It has that cozy charm. And you kind of go inside. Now, this is a smaller and cozier museum. I like to kind of, state that because I know some people want like a 2-hour experience in a museum. That's not what you're going to get inside the museum. Now, you could get that if you opted to kind of like walk around the trails first, or I think they have gardens and as well there that you can kind of take pictures of. Obviously, you want to respect, you don't want to be picking flowers and stuff like that, but beautiful, beautiful flowers to take pictures of. And yeah, so then, and they have restrooms And so then you want to go ahead, and I'm going to take you back to the farm because, again, my mind just does a little spin. We're back on the farm, we're back on the porch, we're walking in. Now they have these exhibits, and I think the exhibits are like maybe 2 to 3 months long, and they're very simple exhibits, but they actually put a lot of effort and thought, and there's a lot of information. And so you're walking through that exhibit room. It's probably going to take you, depending on if you've got little kids or elders or whatever, if it's just, you and maybe another adult or an older kid, you could probably really look around that room for a good 25 minutes to a half hour if you're really like getting into the history on the exhibit room. And then if you go, there's another room that they have, and that has their general artifacts from kind of the Gladstone area. And then they have an upstairs, which I don't know if it's always open. Like, it's really kind of cool. They've got kind of this old school, looks like furniture from like the early 1900s is up there. So I love it. It's really historical. They have this really cute little gift shop as well that you might want to check out. And they have local artists there. And the volunteers are so cute. They are so cute. They are so humble. They're so knowledgeable about the museum. So to me, this is a great place to go. And again, they're not open on Sundays like the museum isn't. It's open on Saturdays. But if I were in the area and I was like, man, I want to do something, and the museum is free, although, you're always free to give a donation. I want to do like this really cool daytime kind of day outing, daycation. I want to do it in the Gladstone area. Where am I going? First place you got to go between the hours of 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. You want to go to that Atkins-Johnson Farm and Museum. Check them out. Super cozy. Or you can go by yourself. It's also a nice little place to kind of pop in and take your time and walk around. And you can go to their website. They're also on Facebook as well, because what they do is they post their events. Now, they don't just have that museum things going on. They actually do have I think they have like a cemetery walk around the Halloween time. I think in next month they're going to have that. They have, I don't think it's happened yet. Maybe it has, but they have people that will come and play like bluegrass on the porch, and you kind of go bring your chair and bring a little picnic and stuff like that and sit out and listen to them. They do that for a couple hours. I know at Christmas time they have like Santa comes, and I think they might do Christmas stories. I don't know. It's a cute little thing that they do, and they decorate the museum up, and again, it always has this nice, comforting and cozy feel. And I feel like right now, that's what we all kind of need is a little bit more comfort and a little bit more coziness. And if that's what you're looking for, whether you're in the Clay County area or you're kind of in a surrounding area, you definitely want to check out the Atkins-Johnson Farm and Museum. And you can find me on QuaintandCozyKC.com, where I blog. I also am on Spotify and Apple and YouTube. Some of my episodes are on YouTube under Quaint and Cozy KC, and then also on Instagram under Quaint and Cozy KC, and Facebook under Quaint and Cozy KC. And if you're new to me, basically I've been described as, it's like your auntie, who's really into like that museum and farmers market and antiquing and all those things, but in a fun way. I don't think I get too granular with it where I'm like, I would never. Like, I don't do any of that. It's just fun. And I just want you to be kind of, interested in that kind of, if you're interested in, I want you to be like, knowledgeable, I guess it's a better way to say it, knowledgeable about what we have around here. Because as someone who used to live all over the country, California, New Mexico, Minnesota, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, I guess in Kansas and Missouri, I have traveled and lived really cool places. And, it takes a lot sometimes for you to fall in love with your hometown area. And that kind of starts with going to the museums, going to the farmers markets, doing the local stuff, going to the festivals, no matter how cheesy, like all the things. And that's how you can kind of fall in love with your hometown, whether you're in the Kansas City area or beyond. Take care, everyone, and I'll talk to you soon.